China, the Chinese chicken. You have a drumstick and your brain stops sticking.
Hey everyone, this is China Chicken, and I wanted to go over the news with surrounding Kylo Ren and Adam Driver, the actor that plays Kylo Ren, and the whole drama with him and Disney and Lucasfilm going on. And apparently, Adam Driver had an idea for this movie, or him in a group with a couple other writers and directors, like big name directors and writers. And they brought it to Lucasfilm, their idea for Ben Solo, and Lucasfilm really liked it, and Disney did not like it, I guess. The higher up executives at Disney didn't like this treatment for Star Wars with Adam Driver as Ben Solo for whatever reason, so they shut it down. And then there's been a lot of talk lately that they've been doing this for a long time, and I think we have a lot of examples that you might think, oh, that kind of makes sense now, hearing that Lucasfilm may have liked something and they are starting to pursue it. And then Disney executives come in like Bob Iger and Alan Bergman, apparently, and they shut it all down. So, and we've had plenty of examples. They've announced so many different writers for movies and directors for movies, and then we've gotten nothing from it. And it's just kind of crazy to think that it may have been just as simple as Lucasfilm with Kathleen Kennedy and Dave Filoni and Carrie Beck really want to do something. And then they're like, well, yeah, let's do it. And then they get started on it. And they're like, oh, well, we have to, have meetings with Disney executives now too. And they come in and they're like, oh, yeah, we don't like this. And Lucasfilm's like, we've already started on this. And then they just shut them down. I don't know if that's exactly what's happening, but I can see that happening. And you can see it through the trends. Like they've hired the Game of Thrones writers to do movies, and then that went nowhere. Same with Rian Johnson. Same with a bunch of other guys that have come in. The Rey movie that apparently was going to happen, then that got shut down, it seems like. So kind of interesting. I will like to go through this article from Variety. We can talk about it. Okay, so we have this article from Variety, and it says Star Wars fans fly plane over Disney Studios with Save the Hunt for Ben Solo banner after Adam Driver reveals rejected Kylo Ren movie. So it says here, Star Wars fans are not happy with Disney, and Adam Driver revealed studio executives Bob Iger and Alan Bergman rejected a screenplay for a standalone movie centered on Kylo Ren / Ben Solo. The character Driver played to much adoration from critics and fans in Star Wars The Force Awakens, Last Jedi, and The Rise of Skywalker. The script was titled The Hunt for Ben Solo. So that's kind of interesting to me. It was called this, The Hunt for Ben Solo. So I don't know if you guys know, but there's a Lord of the Rings movie coming out called The Hunt for Gollum, I believe. That's what the title of the movie is. So that kind of struck me as interesting that this is called The Hunt for Ben Solo. Maybe it was just like a working title for the movie or whatever, and not the actual name of the movie. But they do have a point here that it kind of doesn't make sense because Kylo Ren's character is dead in the movie, so how would they do a movie about this? But, maybe these writers and directors have ideas of how to bring him back or whatever. There's plenty of different ways you could do that with the World Between Worlds and Kylo Ren brought back Rey to life in The Rise of Skywalker, so what's to say she can't figure out a way to do it with Ben Solo. I was actually thinking about that recently, The Rise of Skywalker and End. And you know how Kylo Ren would always have Darth Vader's mask and say, I will finish what you have started. Well, in a way, he kind of did finish what Anakin started, because Anakin wanted to bring back Padme, and that's how he turned to the dark side, was to find out a way to bring back Padme. Well, Ben Solo, or Kylo Ren, was able to bring back Rey by turning to the light from the darkness. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Rey had the Force heal power, and then Kylo Ren tried it, and he brought her back to life, but at the cost of his death. So it's kind of interesting, like, how would they do that? We'll see. if they continue with this movie. That is, it looks like they've just totally wiped it away. Adam Driver says, I was always interested in doing another Star Wars, Driver told AP. I had been talking with doing another one since 2021, so 4 years. Kathleen Kennedy had reached out. I always said, with a great director and great story, I'd be there in a second. I love that character, and I love playing with him. I love playing him. So I love hearing that from Adam Driver, because we never really heard from him too much throughout the whole process of the sequels. I feel like we've heard from Rey, Finn, and Poe a lot, those actors, and then obviously legacy characters, Luke, Leia, and Han, but we didn't really hear from Adam Driver too much. So it's nice hearing that he is really passionate about Star Wars, and he loved the character that he was, and he loved playing him, and he even wants to come back for a new one that Disney turned down, unfortunately. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe with enough noise from the fans, they can bring this movie back. I don't know. Driver loved the Hunt for Ben Solo script, calling it the standard of what a Star Wars movie should be, and comparing it to the handmade and character-driven feel of The Empire Strikes Back. That's interesting. The Oscar nominee said Lucasfilm executives Kathleen Kennedy and Dave Filoni and Carrie backed the project until Disney shut it down. So it really does sound like Adam Driver is taking a shot at Disney here, saying, hey, we come up with these great stories, and Lucasfilm loves it, and Lucasfilm is on board, but Disney is not, and shuts them down. And it's just crazy to think that, I don't know, the timing of all this, when Bob Iger retired, like whatever, 6 or 7 years ago that was, and then Bob Chapek took over, and then Chapek wasn't doing good or whatever, so Bob Iger came back. It's just so weird. And Star Wars wasn't in theaters at that time. That was between, 2020 and now. But now we have the Mandalorian and Grogu movie coming in, and we all know that was planned to be another season, like season 4, and then they turned it into a movie. You can't just do that and turn things into what they're not. Like, I feel like this movie is already going to fail because of that reason, that they changed it from a movie to, or a show to a movie or whatever. And it didn't work with Obi-Wan Kenobi show. That was supposed to be a movie, and maybe it would have been a lot better as a movie, but they're like, no, let's turn it into a show, make it bigger, let's add Reva in there. It just didn't work, and it doesn't work for making a show into a movie. But for him as a Disney executive, all he's thinking about is money, and saying, oh, we need to get back in theaters. That's the way to make money. These TV shows on Disney Plus are not making any money. They're only losing us money. We got to get back in theaters. Look what The Force Awakens did, where it made $2 billion or whatever. We got to get back to that. Let's put Mandalorian and Grogu in the movie theater. Grogu is their biggest asset right now in terms of toys and stuff like that. So it's just crazy to think about. Disney just has a total executive business, and understandably so. They should only be thinking about the shareholders and the business and how they can make the most money. But Lucasfilm is really just like trying to focus on story, and seems like they're just not getting what they want. So it's kind of interesting there. It's a whole business game that they're playing within the company, it seems like, and a lot of people don't like that. And yeah. And it's crazy that Adam Driver came out with this, because he's definitely under some sort of non-disclosure agreement with Disney or in Lucasfilm. So, like, he broke some big no-no rules here in the business world. So we'll see. I don't even know if he will be able to come back as Ben Solo now. Disney probably won't want anything to do with him, unfortunately. Yeah, so that's what I think about the Ben Solo situation. Let me know what you guys think. I'd like to go through some posts here on Twitter here. Maybe we can come up with some funny memes or whatever, but I just think it's crazy. Yeah, so this was the banner that they flew over Disney headquarters, I guess, and it says "Save the Hunt for Ben Solo," which was the title for that movie that got scrapped. But yeah, it's just crazy that they do this. That fans get this crazy that they'll just, spend money to fly over signs over Disney. So hey, whatever they can do to make this happen, I'm down for. I'd love to see Adam Driver as Ben Solo. We didn't get much of him in the trilogy. We got Kylo Ren a lot for 2 movies and 80% of the third movie, but I'd love to actually see Ben Solo back. So that'd be kind of cool. So yeah, this person says possible ways to resurrect Ben Solo: the power of the dyad, which is kind of what I was talking about with the force healing and resurrection that Rey and Kylo Ren do. World between worlds. Okay, so that could be interesting with Anakin in the world between worlds. We know that from Ahsoka season 2. Maybe something in Ahsoka season 2 will happen where Anakin can do this, and then he brings Ben Solo back for some reason, for a big threat in the Sith or something like that, where they can bring Ben Solo back. Anakin can, or Ahsoka, or whatever. Convergences in the Force could bring him back. I guess so. Rey will find any way to bring her soulmate back. Okay. The Force is a great unknown, has many millions of paths. Okay, whatever. So, kind of cool. Anyway, there's some fun stuff in here. Everyone's banding together to bring Ben Solo back, so I think that's kind of cool. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this. This is like a huge story. Like, there's so many articles about it, and I feel like a lot of people just had enough of Disney and Lucasfilm shit, and just get it together and give us good story. Like, Star Wars is such an amazing brand. We all love it so much, and they could just give us a good story. That's all we care about, and then the money will come, So that's all they should do, is focus on building a great story. And to have Adam Driver back, who is the best in the sequel trilogy, in my opinion, would be huge for that. Have him back, redeem Rey's character, make Finn a Jedi, whatever you got to do. Bring in Abeloth into this to take over Rey's body or something. That'd be crazy if Abeloth is all involved in this, and Ahsoka season 2, they fail to capture Abeloth or whatever, and she goes back into hiding for another 30 years, and then she comes out of nowhere and takes over Rey, and then Anakin's like, oh, we have to bring back Ben Solo to fight against Rey Abeloth character. That'd be fucking awesome. Let's do that. That sounds amazing. So anyways, let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Leave a like, subscribe. Have a great day.
Chicken to China, the Chinese chicken. You have a drumstick and your brain stops sticking.